3rd, 7 o'clock, out here in North Carolina. I'm just hanging in here with Yoda at the moment. We do kind of check up on all of our 9 kitties, but we're going to start with Yoda this particular evening, who's busy rub-a-dubbing. We do have some potential bad weather out here in North Carolina, so this stream, which normally goes an hour, it may not last the hour. It just depends on the weather. Let's get a poll of some kind going on. Do a little something different. What state would you love to live in? Put in chat. Okay, so that's the poll today is what state would you want to live in? Would you love to live in? Put in chat. Hello there, Bruce. Hope you're doing well out there in Indiana. Pleasure to see you as always. We're just going to start this little live today, and Yoda. Hello there, John. Hope you're doing well also. Those who have just popped in, you can't necessarily answer my poll question because it's just question marks and then more question marks. But it's just asking, what state would you love to live in? Put in chat. So we'll see how many people actually answer the poll question, even though there's, just silly. There's no way to actually answer it. But I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're doing well, Bruce. Hope you're doing well, John. Yoda here is doing well, as you can see. He's like, I'm ready for duty, Captain. Hello there, Cool Gamer. Hope you're doing well. Cool Gamer, if you want to type in the chat what state you would love to live in, be good if you could. Bruce, you're saying Hawaii. Hawaii would be cool. Now, Bruce, are you talking about like just the Hawaii, like the big island? Or one of the other islands that's like part of the Hawaii state, I guess, Maui, and I can't even think of the other ones. John, you're thinking Virginia, but you obviously already live there. Would there be another state, John, besides Virginia then? I think for us, Bruce, just to kind of piggyback off of that Hawaii thing, eventually we would like to take a cruise so we can kind of get all the islands or most of the islands. Don't think I'd want to live in Hawaii though, because I've heard even though it's definitely a beautiful place, the cost of living is insane, like crazy high. Probably because it's out in the middle of nowhere, but definitely a beautiful area though. Bruce, you're saying one or the other. Okay. Are we going to play a pop? Oop, Zelda, you about fell there. Pop Zelda? Or Zelda. Yoda, I meant to say. Oh, Yoda, you're collapsing your tunnel. It is not working out well for you right now, honey. Oops. Yeah, Hawaii, like Alaska, one of those great places to visit. Definitely anybody listening, I would highly recommend getting out to Alaska sometime if you ever have the resources, the capabilities of doing so. John, you've been in so many places, great places to visit, but not sure I'd want to live in any. I lived in California for a year, but quickly returned to Virginia. Yes, again, California, it definitely has a lot of beauty to it, for sure. A lot of natural beauty. You taking that from me, Yoda? I don't think I could ever live in California myself, but yeah, definitely a neat place to visit at least once. You know, there are certain places in this country that I feel like everybody has to try to visit at least once. You know, California, like San Francisco, being one of them. New York City being another one. I think like New Orleans would be a place you have to visit at least once in your life. Chicago, the Grand Canyon. Bruce, you been to Alaska? Bruce, did you go on a cruise in Alaska, or did you were you? Because I know you had some military service. Were you stationed in Alaska, or kind of what's your Alaska experience? As we watch Yoda here, kind of play a little pop, Yoda pop, I guess, pop the box. Yoda in the Jack in the Box, Yoda in the box. Bruce, military. What part of Alaska is that? Is that like Juneau? Stationed in Juneau? Bruce. Hello there, James. Thanks for popping in. Hope you're doing well. We do have 9 cats here. Right now you're looking at Yoda. So what weather does the cats like? James, I mean, cats generally like hotter weather because they are warm-blooded creatures and they like temperatures higher than humans. To answer your question, as far as what weather cats does the cat like, or does cats like? Typically, the warmer weather. That's why you'll notice in the summertime you have cats. If you have cats, they definitely love to get outside, especially if they have like a screened-in porch, and they'll just kind of melt, sunning themselves. So you were stationed in Juneau. Okay. That was one of the places that we visited when we went on a cruise was Juneau. Awesome, awesome area, awesome place. They had there was a tram that we took up. I can't think of the mountain that's in Juneau. There's like a mountain that our cruise, like where the port was, this mountain was pretty much right off the port, and you could take a tram, I think it was a tram, to go up there. And you have this mountain. James, you would say Hawaii, Florida, or California. Awesome. Have you been to any of those places, James? We have been, like me and my wife, we've been to 2 out of the 3, Florida and California. So, getting back to, let me see, what's John saying? I'm so messed up, I think they're trying to beat the crap out of me during my last week. Well, that's not good. So you have been to all 3, James? Okay. Yeah, Hawaii, I mean, they all have their pros and cons for sure, and they're all beautiful places. Well, I can't speak for Hawaii. I've only seen it in pictures, James, but it seems like a really cool place to visit. But what I was saying about our time in Alaska in the Juneau port, going up that mountain, and there's a bald eagle sanctuary that's up in that up on that mountain, not all the way to the top, but close to it. And my wife and I tried to take the tram down, but it was so busy. It's like it's gonna take forever, and we don't have a ton of time. So our smart, idea was to walk down the mountain back to the ship. That was definitely an interesting time. John, Mendenhall Glacier Trail above Juneau is incredible. So yeah, it was interesting walking down that mountain and almost falling off of the mountain a couple of times and almost falling in mud a couple of times. And we actually got lost maybe halfway through. Thankfully, there was somebody who, I don't know if they were on a cruise ship too or they just lived in the area, but they helped us kind of get back on the right path, so we made it back into our cruise ship. We almost missed our cruise ship. They were starting to do like the last calls, and anybody who's doesn't know about cruise ships or new to cruise ships, you need to be back when they're calling like the last calls. When they're kind of making up those last little chunk of time, because cruise ships will not wait for you. They do not care if you're late. That's your problem, and they will move on. They will keep on going. So if you ever want to see some funny stuff, and maybe some of you already have, go on obviously just on this platform, and type in something like cruise port runners or something like that. So it's quite funny to watch. Hello there, Tranquil. Hope you're doing well. And hello there, Betty. If y'all don't mind, Tranquil and Betty, well, actually, Betty, you got yours. So you like where you're at in Minnesota. Okay, awesome, Betty. Definitely very pretty up there in Minnesota. You got obviously all those lakes that you can, fish or just walk around, stuff like that. Probably very cold though, I would imagine, Betty, in the winter times. Tranquil, the poll question that I have up, if you don't, well, actually, I think I know your answer to this question too, Tranquil, from what I remember. I know it's probably going to be Oregon, right? If you could live in any state, or what state would you love to live in? I'm pretty sure it's going to be Oregon, Tranquil. Also, if you are new to this live, new to this channel, name is Adam. We got 9 cats here. I've kind of worked with cats for a long time, have a ton of experience. So, if you have any questions about maybe your kitty concerns, go ahead and put it up in the chat and we will discuss it. And then also, if you are interested in seeing the other 8 cats, just let me know in the chat and kind of hang with me for a little while, because these lives are only an hour, and I do showcase and show all 9 kitties. John didn't do a cruise, just 2 weeks exploring Alaska, Juneau, a hydrofoil to Skagway, the train up through the Chilkoot Pass. Fantastic. Okay. And I'm a terrible I don't pronunciate words very well. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm butchering some words in advance. I think it's somewhat endearing, but I know it's somewhat irritating to some people when they hear some of the words that I try to pronounce and I have difficulties pronouncing them. So you can get a good laugh also if you listen to me long enough. Bruce, is it true that Minnesota State's bird is the mosquito? I guess that's a question to you, for you, Betty. Tranquil, yep, Oregon. I figured that was the case. Well, Tranquil, I hope one day you can make that dream come true and at least visit Oregon. I think you would love Oregon. I mean, Oregon does have a lot of natural beauty. Been there too. Went to Mount St. Helens. Toured that area. It was very like kind of awe-inspiring to kind of go through that and see that big old crater that's left on Mount St. Helens. And then John, Betty, you're like me. I love Virginia, just like you love Minnesota. And as you can see, Yoda just loves attention and he loves playing. This is probably his favorite toy that he's kind of got a bit of an obsession with. He quite often gets this toy into his mouth and starts dragging it around the house, and sometimes cries when he's got it too. Tranquil, we are having a storm, so I have a lot of buffering. Well, hopefully that storm passes by quickly, Tranquil, and hopefully you're safe. We might have, speaking of storms, out here in North Carolina, there is a pretty big cell that's kind of going up in the Lewisburg area, which is about, maybe 30, 40 minutes or so from this location where we're at. So hopefully we'll have, be able to finish this live and do this live the whole time, but I might not. I might have to go early, but we will see. Bruce is saying, "I love Virginia. Was there to Fort Lee? I do not. I'm not that familiar with Virginia, so I don't know where Fort Lee even is." John is saying, "Tranquil. We explored Oregon quite a bit. Crater Lake was amazing, and the coastal beaches are very pretty. Just not my home." John, I have a question though for you, if you don't mind. If you're just talking about the beaches in Oregon, are they the same like the beaches that are on the Atlantic Ocean? You know, because a lot of the Atlantic Ocean beaches, they're very smooth, right? And just the sand is so smooth. And I just think of Oregon beaches, I think of them having a lot more like giant rocks and just more, just a little bit more, what's the opposite of smooth? Like I said, sometimes I have troubles communicating sometimes, I think jaggedy and stuff like that with the Oregon coast. Rugged, yeah, thank you. It's always my wife. She's always here to help me with my communication problems. I feel like I have sometimes. So if you're here to just watch the kitties, you're in good shape. You can just turn your phone down so you don't have to listen to my ramblings and my mumblings and my incoherent speech that I have sometimes. Some people think it's endearing, but some people cannot stand it, and I completely understand. Hello there, John the Fisherman. I hope you're doing well. Just dropped by to say hi. Well, hi. Hope you're having good weather up there in Canada. We're probably going to hang with Yoda here for another maybe 5-ish minutes or so. And then we will check on the other kitties, especially those who are interested in seeing other kitties. We will be seeing 9 kitties altogether this evening. John the Fisherman, they had a big thunderstorm last night. Well, hopefully everybody was safe. And hopefully everybody is safe after that. Let's see. So, John, oh no. West Coast beaches are rocky and craggy with small beaches in the coastal bays. Nothing at all like the eastern beaches, and water is always cold. Okay. Gotcha. Bruce, I think this is talking about yesterday because you were asking me a question, Bruce, as far as cat food goes with your Maine Coon kitty. I mistaken the food I feed my cats. It's my my cat. It's kitten caboodle. Yeah, Bruce. Again, like yesterday, I would recommend just to try to, if you can. I mean, again, I know that like times are difficult for everybody economically. I will say this very quickly. Let's go, Brandon. Some people know what that means. Some people don't. That's the only politics I'm going to get into this live tonight. But anyways, hopefully things will improve for everybody. But I would look, if possible, to get into like a Fancy Feast, a Blue Buffalo, Purina. I would just like, it's just, if you can, it's just better for the kitties nutritionally. Nutritionally. Tranquil, I am not interested in the beaches. I just want the mountains and iris fields. Tranquil, I'm sure you probably like online on your phone. You probably typed in like mountains in Oregon or iris fields in Oregon, and I'm sure they're probably very pretty. Yes, Yoda is putting on a show for everybody so far tonight. Oh, oh Yoda, you okay, buddy? Okay, I think Yoda's okay. Just had to fool with the phone there for a second. He got stuck. All right, Bruce, Colorado. Have you been to Colorado, Bruce? That's one state, one of the maybe 15 states me and my wife have not visited yet. John, I feed my kitties only blue wildness for kibble. It's kibble that usually screws up an older CATS system. My wife is saying airport. I have no idea what that is referring to, so the Rocky, what is that? What is Denver called? The Mile High City, I think. Oh, yes. I guess technically my wife is saying that we had a layover in Denver. I think either going to our Alaska cruise or coming from it. I honestly can't remember which. It might have been both. And I swear to you, Yoda has not gotten any catnip before this live or right now. He's just on a natural Rocky Mountain high. Speaking of Denver. John Tranquil, 2/3 of Oregon is desert. Just saying. Is it really, John? 2/3 of it? Just desert? Seems more like Arizona then. Mile High, Bruce, you're a Denver Broncos fan? That's the reason. Okay, okay. Awesome. Are you like an old time Denver Bronco fan, Bruce? Don't get into sports too much on these, but like back in the John Elway time frame. I always felt bad for the Broncos because they could never get past like the 49ers or, they always had a good team, but they just could never win the big one with Elway. No, wait a minute. They won once with Elway. What am I saying? I think, right? I think Elway won one time with the Broncos. Or maybe twice, actually. Bruce, you're saying, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I think they won twice with Elway. Back when they got a good kind of running game around him. He was an older quarterback, I think, when he finally won the Super Bowl, like in his, like his mid-30s. Elway twice. Tranquil, it's where your irises come from. I also would love the weather. All right, I'm going to spend about another 2.5 minutes or so with the nutcase here, Yoda. And then we're going to go on to some more mellow, laid-back kitty cats. But Yoda's putting a good show on for everybody to watch. He's probably our most playful kitty cat, I would say, out of our 9. He's about 7 years old, but quite often, though, he acts like a kitten still, as you can see. John, think Nevada more than Arizona when it comes to Oregon. There's just one pretty area around the Cascade Mountains. Yoda needs no catnip. No, he doesn't. Maybe Yoda naturally produces catnip in his body. I think I mentioned this before, but I always find this amazing. I think when I didn't know this myself either until recently, but you think catnip, you think there's like just one type of catnip, but apparently there's like hundreds of types of catnip, and you can sell and buy, you can farm, you can create like a little catnip farm that you could sell to people, which is just crazy to think about. And it doesn't take up a lot of space either. You just need a very small little piece of land, a very, I'm talking like not even a tenth of an acre, not even that much, very small. Now, is it legal in your state though? Check the internet on that, because I don't know. Tranquil, trust me, I know all about Oregon. I have been studying. That's a long time, Tranquil. 20 years? Wow. That is a long time to be checking out a state. Well, like I said earlier, Tranquil, I hope one day you're able to somehow make it out there, for at least a few days, a week. I know you like to live there, but at least for just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to leave Yoda, and we are going to go check out, I think, Tang and Max are in a room together. So the exciting cat adventure is going to get a little slower now, since I'm going to leave Yoda, who's rolling around in his tunnel like a goofball. Yes, John. Yoda is nuts. This is what we have to deal with every day and every night. All right, Yoda. You had a good little exercise there, honey. I'm going to let you rest. I'm sure your heart is going a million miles a second right now. Hi. Up close and personal with the nutcase. All right, honey. Okay. All right, I'll be back, Yoda. You got to stay in here, though. I know. I'm sorry, honey. Okay. Now we're going to kind of have the complete opposite of Yoda. Hanging out here with Max and Tang. I'm going to go up to Max first. He's a much more chilled and relaxed tuxedo than Yoda. Yoda's a very hyperactive little kitty. Max is more mellow. And then we also, I'm not going to forget you, we got Tang, who's just saying hi. He's a pretty mellow little orange tabby also. He's like 3. He's a good boy. Let's read up on chat here. Tranquil, I haven't been anywhere. I check the weather there every day just to know what's going on. Hello there, Icon/James. Hope you're doing well. Tranquil, Oregon doesn't have any tornadoes or hurricanes. I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm assuming obviously they don't have hurricanes, but tornadoes? I feel like anywhere basically could have some kind of tornado. I could obviously be completely wrong on that, but I feel like any country, any state could have a tornado. They just may not be like known for it. John Tranquil, my family wanted to move to Oregon, our home state. Boy, were we disappointed after the first trip. Our second trip was enough to say no. And then Bruce, Orange Tabby seemed like they like everybody. I would agree with you there, Bruce. Orange Tabbies seem like they're very friendly, and they're pretty much they haven't met like a stranger in their life kind of thing. They're not very standoffish or anything. So I'll give a few little moments with Maximus. And then we'll check out Tang. Tangalope. He's a good boy. I'm going to go sit down here just for a second, see if I can get back up with my old age. Come on, Tang. Come here, boy. Max, you can come down too if you want to. Oh, Icon. So question that's in the chat. You can't really answer the chat question, but you can type it in. So is there a state that you would love to live in, Icon? If there is a state that you would love to live in, just put it in the chat. We're just kind of been discussing that. We've had like Oregon as an option. John just loves where he's at right now in Virginia. Had another person say like Hawaii. I think Bruce said Hawaii. Trying to think who else. There was another person, I don't know if they're in this chat anymore. They said like Hawaii, California, or Florida were their options. So I'm just kind of interested to see if everybody had an opportunity to live in a state that they loved, what state that would be in particular. As we just kind of hang out with the orange tabby here, who's getting a little bit of a rub. He likes his massages, as you can see. You got a good spot there, don't we, Tang? I know, that's a good spot, huh? It's getting those endorphins and that dopamine. Isn't it, buddy? Those pheromones. I know, you're a sweet boy. Max. See if Max wants to come down. He's looking at me. He's like, nope. I'm sorry, I'm not interested, human, in your shenanigans right now. Which is okay. Tranquil, you've been in a direct path of a tornado. I never want to live through it again. Tranquil, we've been same kind of situation twice, I think, since we've moved to NC. Ooh, your good boy. He's got the good boy. He's enjoying his belly rub. He wants to bite me, though. Oh, look at that belly. Tang's got some chubby cheeks, though, doesn't he? I don't know if how well you can see it on the camera or on the live, but he's got some chubby little cheeks there. He's got like squirrel cheeks. Tranquil, your dew point right now is 78. That's very high. That's probably very similar to probably NC and Virginia, I would imagine. Bruce, you've been in 3 tornadoes, 7 hurricanes, and 1 earthquake. Ooh, Tell, are you getting a bath with your tail, honey? I guess you are. James, all right, I have to leave because I'm getting ready for Detroit next month. I will catch up next time. Well, take care, James. It was nice of you visiting. I hope all goes well in Detroit. Bruce, that's a lot of activity going on. What was the earthquake? Were you living in? Where were you living at that time? I want to say I think my wife and I have been through maybe 2 hurricanes. One kind of in the Raleigh area that was just, it wasn't like a direct hurricane because it was so far up inland that, Raleigh is so far inland to the coast. It wasn't too bad, but we had another hurricane. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Outer Banks of North Carolina, but there was it was a tropical storm, I guess, technically. I can't remember its name. I think it started with an A that we were a part of. Bruce, in Oakland, California. That's definitely a big, apparently it was Hurricane or Tropical Storm Arthur, Cat 1. So I guess that was a hurricane. I think Cat 1 is a hurricane, right? But anyway, so yeah, California, I feel like eventually, there's always been those movies, right, where all these not hurricanes, I don't know why I got hurricanes on my mind now, but not tornadoes. John, I will talk to you soon, Tranquil. We had an earthquake here a few years ago, and tornadoes and hurricanes do not hit, but not often. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about earthquakes. You always see like these movies of California earthquakes where California goes into the ocean. Now I think the reality that might eventually happen. Hello there, Doom Marshall. I hope you're doing well. We just kind of hanging out here with kitties. We got 9 kitties in this live stream. Right now you're just looking at Tang. And up there is a tuxedo called Max. We got 9 altogether. So if you love kitties and you like you kind of think they're cool, then you're in the right live stream. And if you want to see more, just let me know. I will show more. Obviously, though, as time goes on, this live stream is an hour long. I got about 25 minutes left in it, and then I'll wrap it up. Let me see. Where was I at? So anyways, Bruce, you were in one where the bridges collapsed. What is that? Is that the Bruce? What is that? The Oakland? Is that the Bay Bridge? I think. Is that what it's called? Or that's what it was called? I think at one point in time. Tang. Tang, you want your little catnip mousey? All right, I'm gonna head out of this room. The Bay Bridge. Okay. So right now I'm gonna go into another room that's got some more kitties. We might come back to these two. We might not. But let me go and show some more of our kitties here. Like I said, we got 9 altogether. And so far we've been hanging with Yoda, Max, and Tang. Let's go more people to join. Well, Doom, if you want to do that, you can, but I don't know how you get more people to join. I guess if the algorithm pushes this live stream, then great. If not, it's all good. But I appreciate the kind words, friend. So right now, as you can see, we have Scream. Nah, I don't scream. This is more of a chilled, relaxed live stream. This isn't like any kind of nutty live stream that you can see on YouTube. But anyway, so here we have, this is the baby, Calico, as you can tell. We have Pandora. Pandora is an interesting one, especially for people that might be new watching this. So Pandora right now is a radioactive kitty. John, we had a 5.0 earthquake about 8 years ago, centered in Mineral, Virginia. Buildings collapsed. So when I say she's a radioactive kitty, what I mean by that is over a week ago now, about 9 days ago, she received a radioactive iodine shot, which goes into her bloodstream. The reason she had that shot was she has thyroid disease, which means her thyroid, which controls her hormones, was overactive and causing her to lose weight. And what this radioactive shot does, it goes up to the thyroid tissue that's causing the issue, and it eradicates, destroys, eliminates, whatever word you'd like to use, that tissue. It takes it out. And now she is in the recovery process. Those who have been following my lives, which I do daily, pretty much every night, Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I've been kind of giving progress reports of Pandora and the other ones, of course, but her in particular, because of her condition and her situation. A few days ago, she was struggling a little bit more. She was not wanting to eat her own food. We were having to syringe feed and force feed her, which really you're not supposed to do with cats, but it's either you got to force feed to get that nutrition, to get that food into her, or just watch her starve to death. And obviously we're not going to do that. On the flip side, and the good side though, the good news, over the last 2 days or so, she has been eating more and more on her own, and she has been slowly gaining some weight back. A couple of years ago, she was 10 pounds. When she got the iodine treatment shot, the radioactive shot, she was down to about 7.5 pounds. So she had definitely lost some weight, and she was not feeling well. But we're starting to finally, it seems like, turn a corner. She's starting to kind of get some of her old spunk back and kind of her old self back and feeling better.
So I will continue to do these lives, obviously, and part of these lives will be continuing to kind of give updates on Pandora, and of course how everybody else is doing too. Oh, Doom, I do have a question for you if you're still hanging with me on this chat. I do have a poll question. I'm not sure if you're younger or older, but if you could live in any state in the country, if you're of course living in the U.S. right now, do you have a state that you'd love to live in? If so, if you could put it in the chat, that'd be great. If not, that's okay. She's got a little bit more weight. You can kind of tell here. She's not quite as bony, like in this hip area. So she's doing better. Texas. Okay, that's a new one. We haven't had Texas yet. We've had Oregon, we've had Hawaii, we've had California, Florida, but Texas. Why Texas? It looks cool when you visited. Okay. What part of Texas did you visit? We drove through Texas. We live in North Carolina currently, but we came from Arizona. You don't know? Okay, no worries. But it looked cool though. And we part of the drive from Arizona to North Carolina, which is a very long drive. We went through the bulk of Texas, kind of the heart of Texas. And I'll tell you, man, Texas never ended. Like El Paso, which is kind of El Paso is kind of by New Mexico. Well, you heard correctly, Doom. Arizona is very hot. It's not unusual for in the summertime for you to reach about 110 to 120 degrees out there. That's typical summer weather in Arizona. It's very hot. It's very uncomfortable, and I feel like you could probably fry eggs like on the sidewalk. No kidding, if you wanted to, out there in that state. But we haven't lived in Arizona for a very long time now. But anyways, as we were driving out to NC, like I was saying, getting through Texas, man, it took forever. Getting to like El Paso El Paso to Dallas took like 12 hours. And the crazy thing is, there were long stretches of the road. And John, you might know what I'm talking about here because you're saying Houston or El Paso to Houston is a long day's drive. There were so long stretches of the road where it was straight, it was flat, and you can go 100 miles an hour. That was the speed limit. But even going 100 miles an hour, it felt like you were going nowhere. And it felt like you were going like 60 after a while. Let me swing by and kind of showcase a couple other kitties that I haven't seen, that y'all haven't seen yet, those that are new. This is Tiny. Tiny, tiny. Tiny. Hi. So she's another tuxedo. Out of our 9 kitties that we have, 3 of them are tuxedos. Tranquil, yes, we did go through Louisiana. Yep. I want to say Tranquil, we went through like the top part of Louisiana, so I think we went through Shreveport, is it called? Shreveport, I think that's the name of it. John, the Edwards Plateau, is that what it's called, that long stretch? But yeah, Tranquil. If I'm thinking correctly, and if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, I think it was Shreveport, Louisiana, which I think is on the top part of the state. I could be completely wrong, though. I just remember going through the top part of Louisiana. They scare you, honey. But that's Tiny. I'm not going to spend too much time on her because she doesn't like being on the camera. Over here is one that's not seen very often, so consider yourself blessed. Because normally she is under the bed. But this is Kit. All of these cats have a special story to them. Most of these cats are either rescues or what's called foster fails. If you're unfamiliar with that term, foster fail, just let me know in the chat, and I can tell you. But Kit was a foster fail. She was an adult foster fail. Kit came to us as a very skittish, afraid adult cat. We suspect that she was kind of abused or neglected before she got into the fostering program, rescue program that we were part of a while back, unfortunately. But we did a lot of work, and she was very shy in the beginning and would not let you hold her, touch her, pet her, nothing. But over time, she obviously learned to trust us, that we weren't going to hurt her. And in all honesty, now she's probably one of the kitties out of the nine that kind of wants the most attention, ironically. And it looks like our neighbors are doing a little bit of yard work. So I'm going to quickly kind of go over to there. I'll spy on them. I think Kit is spying on them with me. Hello there, Anu. Hope you're doing well. Hope all things are good with Grace and with I'm trying to think of your other critters, Anu. Grace is the one that comes to mind. Lucy, obviously the parrot, and the other kitties and doggies. I hope everything's going well. But we'll just spy on the neighbors here for a second. It looks like they're doing some gardening, which is cool. Well, we're not going to keep on them for too long. But let me go show another kitty. Up close and personal with the tabby. Let me get one thing for her though. She likes her little monkey. Her and her monkey have been through a lot. Anu, yeah, they are well, but Bella has fatty liver tissue. Ooh, hope that turns out okay. Because fatty liver tissue can be fatty liver disease, and that can be a problem. Anu, very very fast problem that can cause issues very quickly, but hopefully it won't. So prayers out for Bella there for you. Oh, and no worries. If you make these lives awesome, it's great. But if you don't, it's not the end of the world. I appreciate you being here, obviously, but I understand that life is much more important than YouTube. I think a lot of people, don't realize that, but it's priorities, right? Priorities. But anyways, so this is Zelda. Like I was saying, she's gonna be 20 years old next year. Can you believe that? That this kitty that you're looking at right now is gonna be 20 next year? People are always amazed when I tell them how old. They ask how old Zelda is, or I tell them how old Zelda is, and I say, yeah, she's 20. Or she will be 20. That's probably not going to stay on you, is it, Zoo? She's like, no, I don't like my monkey on my head. I don't like you making fun of me like that. There, just resting, Zelda. Okay, I know. We'll put it back here. Over here is the baby, who's a calico, as y'all can tell. I didn't really show her. I spoke about her for a second. But she's a good kitty. John, by midsummer, I might be ready to do a live stream. Just got so much going on right now. No worries about that, John. Please, obviously, let us know. And John, if you need to, if you, I don't know, if you want to ask like any questions or anything, just let me know. Just send me like an email or something, John, and I'd be more than happy to discuss any questions that you might have with the live stream. Or obviously, I know there's others that you can reach out to who do live streams, so it's totally up to you. But I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. So, but best of luck when that time happens. Anu, you have 9 kitties and she is the smallest. I'm thinking about that, Anu. Pandora here is technically, like right now, she weighs the least. out of like the group. But I think like overall, Anu, you're probably right as far as like frame goes, as far as like body frame goes. The baby probably is like the smallest of the bunch. Let's watch Tiny over there for a second, see what let's go see what she's looking at. Let's watch a cat watch something. Tiny. Oh, yes, Rosemary. I am forgetting about Rosemary. How can one forget about Rosemary? Yes, Rosemary is the smallest in weight and in stature. I completely forgot about Rosemary. How dare me. Rosemary will get me later for that. Tine Tine. Hi. Are you showing your big, beautiful face? You bashful little kitty cat. What's going on out there? If you are new to this live, welcome. Name is Adam, aka Catattainment. Got 9 cats here. This is pretty much a raw, authentic, real live stream involving real cats. You won't find any AI stuff here. Nothing against AI, of course. I do some AI in my videos on occasion, but I just thought the real, the raw is the way to go with these live streams. I think that's what people like, actually. Hello there, Danielle. Hope you're doing well. Hello there, Judy. Hope you're doing well also. I know like AI is cool and all, but I think in the end, I think the reason people go on YouTube is to buy their doom. I hope you had a good time, and I hope if you want to visit again, just let me know and subscribe to the channel. If not, no worries. It's all good. Oh, you subscribed? Okay. No, well, I appreciate that, Doom. So, like I said, I'm live every day, Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock. So maybe we'll see you on another live stream. Take care for now. Let's see. What were you saying there? Tranquil Miracle is starting to feel like himself more after his vaccinations. Awesome to hear, Tranquil. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I was just talking briefly about AI. Again, you don't have to listen to my ramblings. You can just put this on mute or turn the volume down and just look at the pretty kitty if you want to, which is fine. So, AI, it's okay. I feel like, though, a lot of people, regardless of age, they go on YouTube, though, to get a human connection with another person, like a real human connection. And I think AI is starting to kind of run its course a little bit. I think a lot of people are getting sick of AI, and there's so sameness with AI. It all kind of looks the same after a while. To me, that's just my opinion, obviously. Agree, disagree, that's fine either way. All good. And that's the beauty about the country, right? We can agree or disagree, but then we can still be friends with each other. So that's a good thing. Hey, you boobers. Okay. Let me go, since I got a few new, not new, but some folks in here that haven't seen a few of these other kitties in a while. Let me go back to Yoda temporarily, who I'm sure will be excited to see everybody. And then I'm going to end this live with Rosemary, of course. No, Yoda was pretty active and nutty about 40 minutes ago. Maybe he, though, will be a little, what am I trying to say? He'll be a little bit more calm now. He's had his, like, Looney Tune moment. Hi, buddy. Oh, so Judy, if you're still on here, I did have a question for you. I asked it on like a comment that you made. I didn't see a reply though.
I want to remember, Judy, I think you live in Iowa, and if that's correct, did you have like any issues with all those tornadoes recently, like 2 days ago, that passed through Iowa? It's just when I saw that, I thought about, I think you said you lived in Iowa, and hopefully you weren't in the area where all that damage happened in, I can't remember now the city in Iowa, but it was very destructive though. There were fatalities, unfortunately, and many people injured, many buildings destroyed, and many houses taken down. The force of nature is sometimes awe-inspiring, but also very scary. Hi, buddy. Judy, you had a lot of hail damage and tree limbs down, and you got 6 inches of rain. Wow, that's a lot in just probably like a 12-hour time frame. Oh, you're a good boy. Good Yoda. Don't bite me. Don't bite me, you lunatic. Where the tornado was really bad was only, wow, just an hour away. So it was kind of close then. Well, I'm glad that you're okay, and hopefully everybody, like family-wise and friends and everybody that you know in Iowa, hopefully everybody was okay from that. It definitely seems like our weather is getting more intense, I guess, and more unpredictable for sure. All right, let's go, since I haven't shown Rosemary, the little nutcase, the little calico loony. Let's go get her on film for a few moments, and then we'll start to wrap up. Oh, okay. What do you got to stay in there? All right, let's head down these stairs. I think my wife said Rosemary is sleeping on her bed of plastic bags. Like the little nutcase that she is. Hi, honey. I know I woke you from your slumber. He's like, yes, humans. You saw me. Now I can go back to sleep. Said she's sleeping on her plastic bags. She's a weird. Well, all of our cats are weird. We've learned. I think probably most of your kitties are probably weird too. I would say in their own way. Oh, Judy, I also had a question, or as a poll question I've just been asking those who live in the U.S. Is there any state that you would love to live in? Or you might already be in the state that you'd love to live in. Yeah, she's been in and out of the sink throughout the day. She normally is, it's just one of her things. I heard somebody say that it could be a sign of like kidney disease, cats being in sinks because of the water potential, but I don't know, she had blood work done just a few days ago and everything was pretty clean for her, so she's just a weird little nutcase. I guess I didn't know what I was getting myself into when I sprung her from her animal hospital that she was living in and that she would have lived in until she passed on. She got a little bit of a purr going. Oh. She's got to re-nest herself. She's like a bird. I will eventually, hopefully, get on recording a video and the audio of her screeching. She did it earlier today, and I just hadn't have the mind frame of putting it on video. I just wasn't by a phone, but eventually I will. And when you hear her, you will think, like, what in the world is that noise? A cat is making that noise? You know, we always say she's like a prehistorical bird or something when she screeches the way she does. But on that note, Judy, my brother's cat sleeps in his bathroom sink all the time. Nice, nice. But I'm gonna start wrapping this live up. I'm at my hour. I don't really like to go beyond the hour. Hour is a good time for me. So I will start just thanking everybody who popped in and saying goodbye to everybody. So goodbye, Judy, Anu, Tranquil, John, Bruce. Just trying to scroll back. Icon, if you're still in here. Danielle, if you're still hanging here. I probably am missing people, but honestly, I forget. I'm old, so what can you say? But I just hope everybody has a good night. Judy, you love where you live, but you'd love to visit Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii was mentioned a few times also. So I'm gonna let everybody say goodbye to each other. Give a few moments for that, maybe like 10 seconds, 15 seconds for that, and y'all take care. Have a good night. We'll be live, same cat channel, same cat time tomorrow. We'll see who we see. God bless. Take care. Hug a kitty. Adopt an older cat. Bye bye.